What is the nature of true silence? It is not merely the absence of noise. It is a presence, a deep, resonant stillness so profound that the world forgets the rules of the ordinary and begins to speak in its native tongue, a language of light and patterns and ancient, quiet magic. Most of us have never known this kind of silence. Our world hums with a constant, invisible static. But there are places, old and forgotten, that remember. Places like the silent wood, where the universe still waits for a moment of peace to finally give its answer. The legend of this place speaks of a phenomenon known only as the bloom of silence. It is a story that cannot be told in noise, only in stillness. The silent wood is unsettling to those who first enter. It is a forest that holds its breath. The birds seem to have forgotten their songs, the insects their nightly chorus. Even the wind, as it moves through the colossal moss-covered canopies, seems to whisper instead of roar. It is a place of profound and sometimes unnerving quiet. Ancient folklore claims this forest is a gateway, a place of listening. The old tales say that on the rarest of nights, when the moon is new and the air is heavy and still, the forest can achieve a state of perfect silence, a moment where every leaf is motionless, every creature is calm, and not a single sound wave ripples the air. It is in this sacred vacuum, the legends say, that the forest exhales. For centuries, seekers and mystics have journeyed to the silent wood, not to speak, but to listen. They understood a truth we have long forgotten, that the most profound answers are not shouted from the heavens, but are whispered from the earth, in a language that noise makes us deaf to. Our modern instruments cannot perceive this magic. The hum of a camera, the click of a shutter, the electronic frequency of a sensor, they are all a form of violence to this delicate stillness. The bloom of silence is not a spectacle to be captured. It is a secret to be witnessed, a gift granted only to those who can offer the forest the one thing it asks for in return, a moment of their own quiet reverence. The universe, it seems, does not answer to our demands. It only responds to our attention. I came to the forest on such a night. The air was thick, like velvet. I walked for what felt like hours, deeper into the heart of the woods, until the last echoes of the distant world were gone. I found a small clearing, surrounded by ancient, sleeping stones, and I waited. The wind, which had been a soft breath, eventually sighed its last. The rustle of my own clothes ceased. The pounding of my heart seemed to slow, to fall into rhythm with a deep, silent pulse that lived in the soil beneath me. And then, it happened. Perfect silence. It descended upon the forest like a blanket of new snow. It was a silence so total, it felt like the moment right before creation. And in that perfect stillness, the universe answered. It began with a single point of light, a soft, silver-blue glow from a patch of moss on an ancient oak. Then, another sparked to life on a fallen log, and another. Slowly, gently, the fungi on the forest floor began to awaken, pulsing with an ethereal light. Sleeping flowers, tucked away for the night, unfurled their petals, each one a cup holding a soft internal luminescence. Within moments, the entire forest floor was no longer dark, but a breathtaking sea of silent, twinkling light. A living map of stars right at my feet. There was no sound, only this gentle, overwhelming, silent bloom of light. It was the forest's soul made visible. I do not know how long I was held in that quiet spectacle. Time, like sound, had ceased to exist. When the first faint breeze returned, the lights faded as gently as they had appeared, retreating back into the moss and the soil, leaving the forest dark and silent once more. But it was a different kind of silence now. It was not empty. It was full of a memory. The experience left a truth burned into my soul. The universe is not distant and cold. It is always speaking, always answering, always revealing itself in the most beautiful and subtle of ways. We have simply forgotten the art of being quiet enough to notice. The most profound magic is not found in the storm, but in the stillness that follows.